In the Western Cape, that's where SANTACO in that province has appealed for calm following the fatal shooting of a CATA taxi owner, Mongi Titi. Titi was shot at the Nyanga taxi rank last night while getting out of his car. Police say they're following various leads in the matter. SABC News reporter Mariska Botha joins us now for more. Mariska, very good afternoon to you. Perhaps let's start with this particular shooting. I mean, just take us through what you know so far.
Well, what we know so far is, like you rightly said, he was killed yesterday, and we are actually now standing at the crime scene where it took place yesterday, as you said, when he got out of his car. And he was, of course, a very high-ranking person within the taxi fraternity in the Western Cape. As you mentioned, CATA, the Cape Town Taxi Association, SANTACO, he was on their provincial executive, and Mongi Titi certainly played a vital role within taxi associations here in the Western Cape. And there's always the fear that taxi rivalry might flare up again. We've seen some horrific scenes in the last several years as taxi violence did flare up, shootings happening randomly. So there is certainly fear that something like that might erupt. But as you rightly said, SANTACO asking and calling for calm as the police do their work. And we are standing right here now with the Acting Provincial Commissioner for the SABC in the Western Cape, Major General Bongani Shalala, who's going to tell us more about what we have at the moment. Major General, thank you very much once again for your time. What do we know so far about the killing of Mr. Titi?
The investigation is still at its early stage. We are standing at the crime scene, as you indicate. He was shot yesterday and we picked up about 10 cartridges. But what we can indicate is that we have been observing this area because of the tension between CATA and CODETA, and also because of the internal problems within CATA that relate to extortion, among other things, as well as the control.
So this is definitely a hotspot for you going forward?
Yes, we can say it is, because you'll remember sometime in January, February, we arrested a number of guards here. Which were employed by the executive members of the same association. They happened to shoot one another. So it is the tension that I'm referring to, yes, which is ongoing. Yeah.
And we also saw you, we were with you at the Huguenot Tunnel a little bit earlier in Paarl, about 60 kilometers from here. You're also doing stop and searches here in this area today.
Yes, definitely. There is high-density operation that we are engaged in. You can see the number of policemen behind me and right around the rank. It's part of the Easter weekend operations where we are looking for firearms, we're looking for drugs, we check also the readiness of the vehicles if they're supposed to be on the road, and everything that is illicit. We're looking at those things.
I mentioned it myself, you said it, there are tensions, there is fear that it could start a renewed taxi war. Is there an appeal that you are making to all parties involved?
Yes, we can appeal to both parties to sit and talk. And this morning I must indicate that we had a special prof joint where the Department of Mobility was in attendance, and they are assisting us as a soft approach in trying to counter the issues in the taxi rank. They are going to be engaging and giving some development or training to them to see how they can best deal with the issues without resorting to violence. So there's a bigger program than arresting the perpetrators.
On the arrest of the perpetrators, are there any leads at this stage? Anyone arrested yet?
There are no leads at this stage, but we are working on it, and we are offering an amount of up to 100,000 to anyone who can give the information that can lead to the prosecution and conviction of whoever is involved in this crime.
Was this an assassination?
It is difficult to indicate at this stage, but the fact of the matter is that the person was killed, but we do not want to speculate on the motive at the present moment.
Thank you very much. Acting Provincial Commissioner there for the SABC in the Western Cape, Major General Bongani Makashalala, speaking to us about this horrible incident that happened here yesterday, appealing for calm, saying there's a bigger program going on in the background where they're trying to teach people to engage and not resort to violence, which always seems to be the first answer. And we certainly hope over this Easter weekend that there will be calm in areas such as these as people try to make their way home and enjoy the Easter festivities in a calm and solemn way.